Good morning and welcome back to Prepping in Progress. I'm Steve and I just wanted to take a few minutes and talk with y'all. First off, a little bit of news. We are entering day 20 of the partial government shutdown, and yeah, the lights are still on. There's no smoke in the sky, and there are no cool gangs to join. Worst apocalypse ever. Okay, seriously though, let's. I wanted to share a few things with you. Um, I'm a big proponent of the knowledge weighs nothing philosophy. That you really should put your knowledge not just into your brain by reading, but putting it into your hands by doing. Um, so this summer or spring, we're going to start some new garden projects, and I really should thank Old School Prepper for pushing me in a certain direction. We're going to be doing Swiss chard this year and a few other veggies to see what happens. And we're actually doing that in our front unused flower garden that has turned to grass. So we're going to be digging that out and re mulching it and doing the whole nine and making it really special for those veggies and fruits, and probably put in some fruit berries as well. But I spent last summer gardening, the summer before gardening, just get the knowledge into your hands. I hadn't gardened for years since I did it with my dad. Anyway, that's a great memory for me, working with my dad. But anyway, a couple other things I wanted to throw at y'all. Knowledge weighs nothing. Well, it can weigh something. It can weigh in books and your Kindle Fire and what you have in your pack if you decide to pack those books along. I don't retain everything I read. So I do like to read, reread, and if I can, listen to an audiobook of the same venue with the same information to cover everything that I'm trying to learn. So with that in mind, when we started getting into prepping as a lifestyle, I should say, I had been growing up being prepared. I had done the pantry, the food stores, gravity-fed water, septic systems. I grew up with this stuff. To me, it was normal. To my wife, she saw Doomsday Preppers one day and said, we really should do that. I looked at her and I said, that's normal. We are doing that. No, we're not. We don't have a pantry. And I took her downstairs, under the stairs, and opened up a couple of Connex boxes. Not Connex, but those talk boxes that the military takes to their bases. And I started pulling the lids open, and there are number 10 cans stacked. And she looked at me and said, "You're weird." And I said, "I know." And she said, "I love you." And I said, "I love you too." And we jumped in, and I had a little bit of an advantage on her, but she's taken up the canning, taken up the different skills, and really jumped in. And I started to expand my knowledge base. And I came across an author that everyone was talking about. You should really get on his website and read his blogs and look at the information. You should really read his books. He's got some great fiction books. He's got some great real how-to books. Okay, who is this guy? Well, it turned out that James Wesley Rawls is the godfather of modern prepping, for lack of a better term. He's the man who came up with the idea of the American Redoubt up in Idaho, and a place for people to come out of the cities. This book I just showed you is How to Survive the End of the World as We Know It. It's one of the best books, I believe, in my opinion, for not just a beginning prepper, but for an experienced prepper as well. It talks about gardening and um, power systems, farming, not just a garden, but an actual farm, fuel storage. I won't say it's entirely comprehensive, but it's one of the closest books I've come across. Um, and you can also get it on Audible or Kindle. So I have been poring over this book for several years, and I still don't have it locked in here 110%. Um, but I'm going to recommend that anyone involved in our lifestyle add this to your library. Go to your public library and see if they have a copy of it. This version I got through Amazon for like $3. It was a library book that had been phased out. Another book, same author, James Wesley Rawls, is this book, Tools for Survival. And it covers manual tools, such as manual drills, manual saws, the different types of saws you need, and actually goes into what you would use them for. Now, to some of us, oh, that's common sense. To me, I learned a few things about the use of a hacksaw versus a wood saw and how it was to be used. Rance Farmstead, welcome to the channel. Thank you for subscribing. Um, I had used a hacksaw on tree limbs instead of on metal. Um, it worked, but to learn the actual use of a tool and to use it properly is a skill that some people don't have. You know, a lot of preppers or people who consider themselves to be trying to be prepared live in cities and they don't have the traditional farm skills that many people have. I've had to work and learn skills, such as when I moved to Arkansas and suddenly had to do all of my car repairs, I went to the man I call Uncle Doug and said, okay, I know nothing. And he said, be at the shop on Monday morning, 7 a.m. And I entered into an on-the-job training apprenticeship for the next 4 years. He now says I'm a competent mechanic and I can work for him when he goes on vacation. Who knew? I'm going to throw one other book at you. Survival Theory by Jonathan Hollerman. He's a former Air Force SEER instructor. He also has a couple of fiction books out. Equipping EMP, Equipping Modern Patriots. Now Hollerman's pet worry theory is an electromagnetic pulse. Most of us know what that is. Some are new to the channel and are new to prepping. Sorry guys, we've geared a lot of our stuff for y'all toward disaster preparedness, but there are other threats out there. Economic collapse, or, I mean, you can even, they make movies about it, Red Dawn, you know, foreign invasion. There are different books with EMP and nuclear attack, 9/11. But an EMP, for those of you who don't know, is an electromagnetic pulse. It is generally thought of as a weaponized pulse, being a nuclear device detonated in the atmosphere, and the pulse from it would knock out electrical circuits, take out the electrical grid, probably wipe out your cell phone, iPad, etc. No more YouTube. Another way to achieve this effect is solar radiation from a solar flare from our sun, and it would cause something called a Carrington event. And yes, in the 1800s it actually happened. If I recall my astronomy, we are actually overdue for one and had a couple of close calls in the last year. But it just missed the planet. Anyway, Hollerman focuses on preparing for that. He tries to get you set up not only for the first initial 24, 48, 72 hours of that event and what you would need to do as soon as it happened, but then he does try to help set you up for sustainability after the event has taken place. Um, Very good information. He actually, for a fee, will come out and do retreat analysis and check out your property and whatnot. Um, it's a good book. Now, whether you think that's the way to go or not, I choose to choose the absolute worst possible thing I can imagine and try to be prepared and prepare my family for that. I figure if I'm prepared for an EMP with no power, the lights are out, if a tornado hits and takes out all the power junctions, the power's still out. I've got it covered. So these three books are what I wanted to throw at you guys today for knowledge, and whatever you retain from these books inside your brain doesn't weigh anything when you're strapping on your pack. The other thing I am going to throw out is, while we have good times and the cell phones are up and running, there is audible.com, and these three books are available on Audible. It's not very expensive, usually about 15 to 20 bucks per book. If you get a membership, you can buy credits, and the credit points work out to about 1 point for $13. So a $20 book suddenly becomes 13. That's your choice. I don't care what you do. For me, when I'm driving on a trip, I will throw on the audiobook and keep reading, for lack of a better term. So that's about it. I wanted to shout out to my friend Lone Wolf Prepper. He's doing some pretty interesting videos. I don't always agree with the Lone Wolf philosophy, but Doug does challenge my brain and at least makes me analyze my thoughts and my opinions and rework them. And whenever you challenge someone's preconceptions and ideas about something, that's a good thing. So, throw that out there. This weekend, it's the 12th, down at Morro Bay State Park is going to be the Arkansas Preparedness Network mini event. It starts at 10 a.m. on the 12th, and January 12th, 10 a.m. You are more than welcome to show up. It should be at the enclosed pavilion. If you're in Arkansas or Louisiana, surrounding areas that can get there, please come. Also, if you're near Northwest Arkansas, Springdale, Fayetteville area, check out NWA Prepper. He's running a food storage class the same day. I believe it costs $35, but you get to keep whatever food you package. So if you're in the area, see if you can make it and get to those. Alright, y'all, I think that's all I wanted to cover today. You have a great day, and I've got to get out in the garden and start digging up soil. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.